Hello, folks. How are you doing today? Today is Tuesday, and hope you guys are gonna have a good Tuesday today. Enjoy everything in life that comes towards you, and I hope you're able to conquer it today and you do the best you can and behave yourselves out there. So today I'm going to talk about the Ten Commandments from Exodus 20 through 2 through 17. So as you know what the Ten Commandments are, thou shalt kill, thou shalt covet a neighbor, or commit adultery, and so forth. So I'm just going to read from the Bible here, the King James Version. So, and by the way, I am Brother David at Humble Mind Ministry. All right. So if you guys like my channel, come check it out on YouTube. Brother David at Humble Mind Ministry. So I am ordained, just so you know. All right. So, and there's always something new to learn in the Bible, correct? And it's very interpretive for different people on things. How that I myself look at it as a not as a term, but not as to um, how they interpret it here, but to like right down to the how it's supposed to be. You know, not meaning literally, but you understand. Remember, there's a lot of parables in the Bible, so a lot of things have been interpreted by our theologians and people and peoples of faith and stuff like that. Everybody has a different version. And as for me, myself, I totally believe in the Bible and grace is God and mercifulness by going to heaven. And hopefully I'll make it there one day, because once I'm down 6 feet under, my soul leaves the body stays down there, and up I go to the paved road of gold. So that's why I'm hoping for the best. I hope you guys do also, and I also hope you guys are looking to grow within your faith, understanding the meaning of the Bible, as I am learning the Bible more and more each and every time that I read from it. So very interesting Bible, and from if you look at it, there are a lot of answers in there. Believe it or not, that goes along today with the world. You can coincide with the world today, all the world, the whole world. It's just you got to interpret yourself and find it where it coincides with today's world, and it can be hard and challenging to what chapters and books in the Bible are. So let's get started. I'm just going to start reading from Exodus here about the Ten Commandments. All right. So this is the New King James Version. All right. So that's the easiest for me to understand. So, and please excuse me if you see my eyes wandering over here. That's because I'm reading from over here. So I do apologize. And once again, my name is Brother David at Humble Mind Ministry. So thank you for coming to this channel. And if you like my channel, like, subscribe, and tell other followers of Jesus, God, and let them know that, come here to learn some faith and stuff and learn with me. And I will try to write some sermons out and stuff like that. And yes, my voice is soft, so I'm not very loud. So I can be loud, but if I'm loud, I don't want to be loud because I have been loud, and we don't want to do that and scare people off. So welcome to my channel. All right, Exodus 22 through 17. I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. Now you hear that, right? You shall have no other gods before him. None at all. Because he's the Alpha and Omega, correct? He's the beginning and the end. No other gods before him at all. You have to understand that he's a jealous God. He wants us to understand him, and he wants to provide back to us with his grace and mercifulness. You should not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You should not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the inequity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands to those who love me and keep my commandments. So he shows mercy to those who make his commandments and follow them through. All right? So I follow those commandments through. And as we all know, we've all broke those commandments. I've broken those commandments, and I don't want to break those commandments anymore at all. There's no reason to. Such as lying stuff and all that stuff, fibbing or anything like that. I'm lying. I'm going to admit right here, yes, I have lied. We all have lied at one point in our time. You know what's funny, We're not programmed to lie. Why is that? Because he didn't want us to. But somehow we're not programmed to. But in our minds, we're like, oh, we want to cover someone and do this. There's no reason to. It's easier to keep the truth and tell the truth and only the truth, as they say in court, Law of the land, law of the man upstairs is the best way to follow it. And trust me, more people respect you if you tell the truth, because if you're just lying or fibbing and stuff, it's harder to keep track of your lies or your fibs. So just be honest. It could hurt people, make them not like you anymore, but you know what? In the end, you'll be more respected by everybody. All right. So if you come to this channel and you feel like you have to get something out of your chest and stuff, go tell that person. Be honest with them. Maybe hurt them, it may hurt you, but in the long run, be more respectful and be more truthful. It's much better. Trust me. Because you don't want to keep track of a story and stuff like that. If you have to, write down the truth. Write it down in a little book or whatever. Also have a prayer plan and stuff, or what you did for the day, or a journal of any type. So, all right, so we're going to continue from there. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way and tell you guys, all right? So, as we continue from there, it says, showing mercy to those who love me and keep my commandments. You should not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. And we all know what that means, right? As they say, so forth and so on. We know you guys know the words and stuff. You don't want to do that anymore, because you are taking his name in vain. If you do that stuff, you're just disrespecting him and his son when you do that also. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. You guys know the Sabbath day, obviously. So, Sunday. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. All right? Now, I understand this is from back when, way back when, and from the Bible. So, he's telling, this is coming from back when this stuff was written down. So 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall not do no work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, meaning holy, making it holy that day, greatly. All right, so hallowed means holy. So you're all to honor God that day, enjoy your day with your family and rest and do what you need to do with your family that day. A lot of people go to church that day with their family and stuff on Sundays. Holy, make it great. Enjoy the day with your family, friends, whatever. Go to church. And for those who are non-believers, I hope you come here to learn to become a believer. But if you're not a believer, I'm not here to force you to do that, become a believer. But I'd like you to become a believer. But remember, I'm not here to judge you. That's not my job to judge you. That's the guy upstairs, the one and only God. No other God should become before him. All right? Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. So as you continue here with the 10 Commandments and stuff, you shall not murder. Do not murder. And as we know today in societies and world stuff, unfortunately, there are people that do that and stuff, and they're not in their right state of mind or thinking what they're supposed to be doing or whatever, because something has grabbed them, and obviously some evil has grabbed them, in my personal opinion. All right? So, but as I say, God has plans for everybody. So, we don't know what plans he has for us, but he does. His plans are already written out for you, whether you know it or not. And so, you shall not murder. All right? You shall not commit adultery. Do not commit adultery. It's wrong. It's sinful. It's untrue of you. And it's just plain wrong. That shows you do not care at all. That you have no care in the world who you hurt or what may come about from committing adultery. You shall not steal. Do not steal. There's no reason to steal. There's no reason at all to steal from people or things today or that, or going to the store and steal stuff. There are resources out there to help you if you need help with. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That has happened a lot in past years. People have been afraid to ask for help, and so they think they need to steal and stuff. And I can understand to a certain degree why they do steal, but there's no reason to. There are people that will help you. Be surprised. There are resources out there. You just have to find them. And as I said, you should not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. So don't be a false witness against your neighbor. All right? There's no reason to be a false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. All right, I can continue and reading from here from Exodus chapter 20. I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. You shall not have no other gods before me. Now remember, he's a jealous God. All right. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that's in the earth beneath, or that's in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands to those who love me and keep my commandments. So keep his commandments. They're very simple commandments. They're easy to follow, but unfortunately people break them and stuff, and they will be breaking until the day of the time he comes back, of Jesus when he comes back, unfortunately. And he knows, because remember, when it's your time to go, you have to confess your sins to him, right? All your sins. Right? Repent your sins at least. Remember, he's a gracious God, and he's a humble God and merciless God. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Now, I'm still reading this. I know I'm repeating this stuff, but I'm just explaining the verse here by reading this. So remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of your Lord, your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the sea and all that is them, and rested the seventh day. Now he's coming upon here again. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath, right? And hallowed it, made it great, made it holy. The word hallowed. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. Then again, down here, I'm not repeating this again because I want you guys to understand this and get it through to you, to understand what this means from God himself, when he wrote to Moses the 10 Commandments on the tablet, on the fiery bush, and so forth. You shall not kill, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. In other words, nothing that doesn't belong to you. You do not do that. Don't do anything. You be respectful of your neighbors, and hopefully vice versa, they're respectful of you. You all are one. You're God's child. You follow God's rules. They're very simple rules here, but like I said, they obviously are going to be broken through time, and we all know that. So now we're talking about the people afraid of God's presence. Now all the people witnessed the thunderings, the lightning flashes, the sound of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, They trembled and stood afar off. And they said to Moses, You speak with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And then Moses said to the people, He said, Do not fear, for God has come to test you. So he's coming to test them with the 10 Commandments. All right, that was written on the tablet. And that his fear may be before you, so that you may not sin. So the people stood afar off. But Moses drew near the thick darkness where God was. We're going to talk about the law of the altar here. So just give me a second here. I'm going to take a drink of my water real quick here, and I'll be right back. All right, then. I'm back. So we're going to talk about the law of the altar here. So then the Lord said to Moses, This you shall say to the children of Israel, You have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make anything to be with me, gods of silver or gods of gold. You shall not make for yourselves. So remember what he said, heavens above or things below the sea or anywhere. Do not make anything or carve anything at all, because he's the jealous God. He's the one and only God. No other God comes before him. An altar of earth you shall make for me, and you shall sacrifice it on your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep and your oxen. All right? And every place where I record my name, I will come to you, and I will bless you. And if you make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it out of hewn stone. For if you use your tool on it, you have profaned it, desecrated it, in other words, cursed it. Nor shall you go up by steps to my altar, that your nakedness may not be exposed on it. All right. Now, as you get farther into this, now we're talking about laws concerning servants. So this is different back then. Remember, this is way back in biblical times. Now, this is a historical account of what was written down and stuff, and quite a bit. You know, there's way too much evidence that God is real. He's actually a real person, no matter what people think. There's a historical. The Bible is the most read thing in the world today. It's the number one book in the world. So, law concerning servants. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years. And in the 7th he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in, if he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. All right. He shall not have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of daughters. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food or her clothing and her marriage rights. And if he does do these 3 for her, then shall go out free without paying money. Now we get to another thing here, so they'll go out free and betrothed sons and stuff like that are so these are his rules. This is what he's telling. They must follow his rules. So he's trying, everybody should be treated equally and should be, back then it was a little bit different, obviously, as we know, but He's saying that whoever does this or that, depending on the male or the female, what they do, they should be treated just the same. The law concerning violence. All right. As we know today, there is a lot of violence going on in this world, all around the world, unfortunately. But we try to pray for it every day to the end. We do. Just keep on praying and praying, and have your faith and have your grace from God. You just gotta keep on praying. It's what you have to do. You have to pray, pray, and pray. That's all you can do is pray. Hopefully, He has gracious upon you and across this earth, across the violence, to stop this violence. But as I said, God already has plans for the world. We don't know what it is. We don't know when the time's coming or when He's coming back. So, from my understanding, is that when He comes back, we're supposed to have 1,000 years of peace. But remember, His timeline can be way different from ours. All right, so I'm going to get back. The law concerning violence. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, he shall take him from my altar that he may die. And as we know, we have premeditation, murder and stuff, and court and stuff, and malice as a forethought. So if you have malice as a forethought, that means you're already planning on doing it, and so forth. So as you can see, some of this stuff kind of does interact with our courts today, and so forth. Hence the premeditation. And he who strikes the father or his mother shall surely be put to death. As we know, in some of our states we do have death penalties, in some states we don't. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. Excuse me. And he who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. So, back then, people who cursed his mother or father or stuff out of anger, out of deceit, or out of upsetness and stuff like that, he was put to death. Today it's a little bit different, but if he does or does something violent to his mother or his father today, and obviously he's going to pay the consequences. If men contend with each other, and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only be for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed. All right? So, if the men contend with each other, and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, he does not die, but is confined to his bed, which means he's going to be there and healing and stuff. If he rises again and walks out outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. So they're going to say that he's going to be acquitted, even though he struck him. So obviously that's a little bit different today now. So he should only pay for the loss of his time. So, but they're saying for the person that struck him should be paid his loss of his time. It's right for him to be thoroughly healed. In other words, help him with whatever he needs. If a man beats his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. All right? Remember now, this is during biblical times and stuff. So, they had slaves back then. I know it's controversial, like I said, but this was back then. We weren't there. This is biblical times. This is what they're taught, is following the law of the Bible. If men fight and hurt a woman with a child. Alright guys, I'm back on this once again. I am Brother David at HumbleMindMinistry. So if you like my channel, like, subscribe, press on that bell button for all the notifications. Make sure it's highlighted. Alright, click on down the bottom right hand corner of the screen, click on the crosses there. Now let's continue from Exodus. And if a man beats his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished, notwithstanding. If he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is property. I remember that was during biblical times, so they did have slaves back then. If men fight and hurt a woman with a child, so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband opposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, and stripe for stripe. In other words, stripe for stripe, whip for whip, whip for whip. For everything that they did to him, you do back to them. If a man strikes an eye of his male or female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. So if he does anything to her servant or anything that to hurt him in any way, physical shapes or form, when he, they must let him go free. Okay, now we're going to do something a little bit different here. Animal control laws. They have, guys set laws for control, for animals, whatever. Because he's the one that made him. Adam named all the beasts and all the animals and all so forth. So, if an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. But if the ox tended to thrust with its horn in times past and has been made known to his owner, and he has not kept it confined so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. It's harsh punishments back there, isn't it? It's scary how that comes across like that. So, in other words, if they're saying if the owner knew how he's already acted, how the ox would act and stuff, had animal, that he should have did something to dealt with the ox to fix the problem. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life. Whatever is imposed on him, whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to this judgment, it shall be done to him. The ox gores a male or female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give the money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. Just to tell you guys what I'm doing, I was just giving you an explanation of the different types of commandments and stuff that go along with the 10 Commandments here. So if you're not understanding what I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to what explain Exodus, what the commandments are. So if a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. So 4, F-O-U-R, sheep for a sheep, F-O-R, a sheep. If the thief is found breaking in and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there shall be guilt for his bloodshed. He should make full restitution. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. The theft is certainly found alive in his hand. Whether it's an ox or a donkey or a sheep, he shall restore double. So he should pay double for if he did something to any type of animal. Now, if a man causes a field or vineyard to be grazed, and lets loose his animal, and it feeds in another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. So he should repay from his stuff for his wrongdoing by letting his animals graze on somebody else's property, basically. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so the standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. So as we all know, wildfires and stuff like that. We just had, you guys know, the one that was caused, was it the California, not California fires, but in the New Jersey or South Carolina, North Carolina. You know, somebody, young kid, unfortunately, he was killing some stuff together and just let it go ablaze and burned a lot of acreage and natural forests and stuff. And he did get in trouble, so he's going to pay for that. So, unfortunately. So if the fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. Hence, you know, a kid that I referenced to, I think he was 18, and he made a kindle of a fire. If a man delivers to his neighbor money or articles to keep, and is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hand into his neighbor's goods. So they're saying maybe the neighbor could have possibly went there and stolen it and then gave money back. Look like he's doing in good faith. All right. For any kind of trespass, whether it concerns an ox, a donkey, a sheep, or clothing, or for any kind of lost thing which another claims to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whoever the judges condemn shall pay the double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any animal to keep, and it dies, is hurt, or driven away, no one seeing it, then an oath of the Lord shall be between them both, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he shall not make it good. But if in fact, if it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner of it. If it is torn to pieces by a beast, then he shall bring it as evidence, and he shall not make good what was torn. All right, we're going to finish up with this about moral and ceremonial principles, and what I will do is do another video, continue finishing reading Exodus, all right? Because it's this, like I said, this goes along with the 10 Commandments and stuff. That's why I'm reading this, and I know it's hard to understand. It's hard for me to understand too, but I think most of you understand the gist of it and how it's supposed to do. So this is moral and ceremonial principles. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with an animal shall surely be put to death. Bestiality, stuff like that, which unfortunately does go on today in society and stuff like that, which is pretty scary, pretty weird, put it lightly, I guess you say. He who sacrifices to any god except to the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. So remember, he's a jealous God. He's the one and only God. He's the Alpha Omega. No other God should become before him. You shall neither mistreat a stranger nor oppress him, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry at all to me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath will become hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. So be kind to the child. God is very special to the children, are very special to God. They're his life and everything. They mean a lot to him, even though as they grow up, they become adults and stuff. But when they're a child, just a child, they mean everything. Because childs do not know better yet until they start growing towards adulthood. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall not be like a money lender to him. You shall not charge him interest. If you ever take your neighbor's garment as a pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What will he sleep in? And it will be that when he cries to me, I will hear him, for I am gracious. Remember, I said God is gracious, grace from God, and He's merciless. All right, but you don't want to face the wrath of God. You should not revile God, nor curse the ruler of your people. You should not delay to offer the first of your ripe produce and your juices. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. Likewise you shall do with your oxen and your sheep. It shall be with his mother 7 days. On the 8th day. Now, this is where some people say it gets interesting, because that's why people say there's the 8th day of the Bible. But 7 days with his mother, 7 days. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. So the next day obviously would be a Monday again. But yeah, there can be 8 days in a row, technically, I guess you could say. And you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meat torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. All right, guys. So hope you understand this. And then when I do another video on this, we'll start from justice for all, and this will be on Exodus. All right. That's where we'll continue. Exodus 22 through 20, chapter 22 through 26, and then we'll continue from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of this little sermon here from the Bible, and that you understand about the 10 Commandments and so forth, how it kind of goes along with today's society in the world. I understand, like I said, the Bible is interpretive based on how you read it and how you think about it. That's why we have historians and theologians and professors and people that study the Bible and so forth, to help interpret it. So, like I said, this is the King James Version. So, this is Exodus, New King James Version. It's more easy for me to understand myself personally. So, but some of you may understand it better, way better than I do. So, I thank you for watching. I'm Brother David at Humble Mind Ministry. So, please come and share my channel, and please come here if you're looking to learn something, and I hope you are, because I know I'm learning a lot from this myself. The Bible is very interesting, and it's the #1 read book in the world. I believe it was Johann Gutenberg that invented the press and was able to write all this stuff, and that's how the Bible spread even more, I believe. So, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate you for me. May God bless you, and you guys be safe. So we're going to say a little prayer here for closing, all right? And I usually say this prayer. So, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our trespasses, and forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Now, if you guys say that prayer a little bit differently, that's fine. So that's how I was taught to pray it. But most of it means the same thing how you guys were taught to say that. So once again, thank you for watching my channel, Brother David at Humble Mind Ministry. All right, so that's my channel, and I am ordained, just so you know. And like I said, if you want to, click down the bottom right hand corner of the screen there, click on the crosses, and bring up the subscribe button that way. So if you enjoyed this, please share it with the people who are looking to regain their faith and trust in God and His graciousness. He's gracious God. So thank you for watching. You guys have a great day today, and be safe. All right.